want you to read the Rashi. As they go out to battle, they have a kohen of Mashuach. The kohen is anointed for battle. He goes out and he tells them to go back. And he says, whoever is the first person was the person who built a house and he's not yet inaugurated the house, he should go back home. And now we're up to the next one, Pasuk Vav. But I just want to say at the outset that this is not referring to people, this is not referring to Milchemes Mitzvah. If it's a Milchemes Mitzvah, if it's an obligatory war, which is a war to conquer the land of Israel or a war in self-defense, then everyone has to go. There's no excuses, no deferments from battle for that purpose. So Pasuk Vav, you have the place where Pasuk Vav there is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll read the pasuk and then you'll read the Rashi. Mi Aish.
I don't.
What?
I don't. Is it here? It says Shoftim.
No, yeah, but you're hold on, you're almost there. Here we go. Right here. There's the Rashi. Okay, so the pasuk tells us. Hold on, let me come to the co-host. Everybody was saying. Okay, Mi Aish says Mi Aish Asher Nata Karem. Kerem, who is the one who's planted a vineyard? He has not yet filled low. We'll see what that means. Let him go back home. We don't want him to die in a battle. Another man will take his vineyard. Let's see what it means. You read the Rashi, Erez. He did not redeem it. Meaning to say, who is the person? What does it mean he did not redeem it? Go on. In the fourth year. So the law is like this: the first 3 years after you plant the fruit of a tree, after you plant a vineyard, can you eat the fruit of that vineyard? No, it's called arwa. You cannot eat it. The fourth year is called netaravai, and you redeem it. That you have to take to Jerusalem and eat the fruits there. So who is the person who planted the vineyard and he's not yet brought the grapes to Jerusalem to eat it? Go on. Rashi explains. The fourth year, the fruits require to be eaten in Jerusalem. Go on. You can either eat them in Jerusalem, or you can. L'chalan means, what does the word chol mean? Do you know what chol means? There's Shabbos is Kodesh. And then there's the Yemos HaChol, right? Chol HaMoed. So Chol, it means to say that it's not holy. So if the grapes are too heavy to eat them to carry them all to Jerusalem, it's just too many grapes. You planted a vineyard, it's the size of this room. It's too much to bring to Jerusalem. So you can redeem them onto money and then take the money and buy food in Jerusalem. So if you haven't done that yet, if you planted a vineyard, but it's within the first 3 years, or even the fourth year, you have not yet redeemed it, then you don't go out to battle. You're exempt. Because we don't want you to plant your vineyard and somebody else will inherit it when you die. The next pasuk, who's the one who betrothed the woman? He's not married her. Let him go home. Lest he die in battle, somebody else will marry her. I was at several weddings in Israel where the groom was in active service. He got married, they gave him a week off, and then he went back, because right now in Israel, it's not an optional war, it's a Milchemes Mitzvah. So even a groom goes out, he does not, this exemption, because it's your first year of marriage, or you betrothed the woman, but you have not married her, that doesn't apply. Also, I'll tell you a story about this. There's a man who comes here on Shabbos morning sometimes. I don't know if Seth was here or still. I don't think so. Yeah, ironically, he came right when Seth left, which Seth didn't leave. He moved. So anyway, this man, he said he came back from Israel and he wanted to go back, and he came back from studying yeshiva in Israel, and he wanted to go back to join the IDF. This was 20 years ago. And his parents said, no, once you first finish college, and then you could go. So he didn't know what to do. They were at loggerheads. So the parents said, okay, we'll call Rav Shachter. They didn't know Rav Shachter, but he was the post-sec of Yeshiva University. He said, we'll call him and we'll ask him what you should do. So in those days, there was a payphone outside the YU base medrash. So they called the payphone. They asked to speak to Rav Shachter. And this is like a life-changing question. They come to Rav Shachter. And Rav Shachter said, how old are you? He said, I'm 19. Rav Shachter said, well, in the Torah, it says when you're 20, you go to army. So wait a year. By the time he waited a year, then he didn't want to go anymore because he was already in the middle of college. So anyway, that's just, we're up to Pasuk Ches. The Yasfua Shotrim Udaber Am, and the people should continue, the Shotrim is the officers should continue to speak to the people. V'amru, and they should say, Mi ha'ish hayarei v'rach ha'levav. Who is the one who is afraid and weak in the heart? Yelech v'yashov v'eso. Let him go back home. Well, yimas es levav echav kilvavo. And we don't want his heart to cause his brother's heart to melt. On a simple level, this is like the person who's got bad energy. He's afraid. We don't want somebody who's afraid being in the battlefront because it's going to cause everybody. How you doing, Tani? It's going to cause everybody. Hey, Gavi, are you guys hot in here? Should I turn the air conditioning on? You're a little hot. You're good. Okay, Gavi, grab a chumash there.
Sore.
My God, a whiner. So if you have a bad attitude, you ruin everybody's mood, and so that's what the Torah is saying. That if you're afraid, get out of here. So let's look at the Rashi. Erez is reading the Rashi, and then whoever wants to read next can volunteer. First, Erez is reading the Rashi to Pasuk Chet. What page are we on, Erez? So tell the boys.
1061.
1061. Which school are you going to, Davi?
Oh, right there.
Didn't they start already?
For Shana Bet.
Oh,
Shana off is Sunday.
yeah. Well, send Rav Binny my regards. Did you see the picture of me and him?
No, you were supposed to show me last time.
Hold on 1 second. I'll show it to
It's of
everybody.
you hugging him, right?
Or you could say he's hugging me. Hold on.
Oh, you dog.
Yeah, hold on. Let me share it with everybody so they could see this photo. And then hold on, I'm sharing it. Let's see. Here. And okay, that's the photo, me and Rav Binny.
Oh,
Wow. Oh yeah. He's hugging you.
that's horrible.
Yeah, he's hugging me. That's what I was thinking.
Rav
Okay.
Arabina?
What?
Rav Arabina?
No, that's Rav Binny Freeman.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Rabina doesn't like me. Rabina doesn't like me. I didn't do
You know
well.
Ravina?
I had an interview with him 35 years ago, 32 years ago, when I was in high school senior, and he interviewed me. And he said, and the way the interview went was, it said in the Gemara, Kuli Amalo Pligi, the whole world doesn't argue. And he says, what do you mean the whole world? You go out on the street and you ask and he said the word that you get canceled if you say. It's a racial word. Begins with, and let's just say, I don't even want to say what letter it begins with, that's how bad it is. And he said, you ask him and he doesn't argue either. I'm like, what is going on here? I said, this is not working. Thank you very much, Rabbi, but I'm not going to waste anybody else's time. So that's how it went with Rabbi Bina. I would not have succeeded in his, he has a system. I would not have succeeded. Okay, there. Okay, so
Rabbi,
now,
just
I'm sorry?
Parshat Devarim. I'm sharing the verse from Parshat Devarim, Achinu Masat Levavenu, about the fear that people had in their heart for the fight with the Canaanites.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, you mean also in Parshas Devarim, exactly. Okay, so very
Yeah.
good. So Aaron,
The
now
Devarim and our Parsha have the same word, actually.
same idea, beautiful. Okay, Erez is going to read the Rashi's via Sfua Shotrim, and then the Shotrim will add on.
Lama Nomar can by
Lama Nemar Kan via Sfu. What does it mean? Why are they saying they shall add on? They're the ones who've been speaking this whole time. So what does it mean they shall add on?
must means all different
What page? Tanya wants to know what page.
no.
What?
10:59 right now.
10:59 actually.
So Mosifin Zal
Wrong.
Divrei Kohen.
Hold on.
The Kohen was speaking. The Kohen who was anointed for battle was speaking, and they add on to those words. Go on.
כל מדבר ומשמיע
The Kohen speaks and he announces.
מן שמע ישראל להושיע אחד.
Etzchem. So the pasuk starts Shema Yisrael, which is which goes back to pasuk Gimel, and the Kohen says all that till the end of pasuk Daled, and then the judges come on.
ומי האיש ושני ושלי
V'sheni v'shishli, and the second Kohen medaber v'shoter mashmiya. So the Kohen speaks it, and then the officers announce it. And now when we come to this verse, the shoter medaber v'shoter mashmiya. Now it's the officer speaking. The Kohen was saying the previous verses, and the officers would repeat it, but now it's just the officer. Okay, go on. What does it mean? Hayarei v'rachal evav. This is beautiful. Listen.
רבי עקיבא אומר,
What does it mean? Somebody who's soft and weak, he should go back. What does that mean? This is one of my favorite Rashis in the whole Torah. Rabbi Akiva says, means literally. What does it mean? Bekishrei hamilchama. That means somebody who can't, he doesn't think he can hold out in battle. We're charav shalufa. He can't see a sword drawn against him. He doesn't think he can make it. That's what Rabbi Akiva says. I mean, somebody who's afraid should go back. He doesn't think he'll be strong enough in battle. But comes along Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Shebiyado. He's afraid, not because he's afraid of a fight in the army, but he's afraid because he has sins. He's afraid of the sins he has. So the Torah creates this whole thing. What are the exemptions we've seen? Who goes back? Who doesn't have to fight? What are the ones we've seen? A person who has, we just saw it, Erez, we remember? A newly married, a person who has planted a new vineyard, a person who's planted built a new house and has not yet developed it. So Rabbi Yossi Aglili says the Torah makes those whole reasons why they can go back just as a pretext. You know what a pretext is, Tommy? Okay, do you know what a pretext is, Gavi?
Wait, you say it before?
What do you know what a pretext is? What?
It's a before text.
No. Pretext is where basically it's an excuse. You give everybody an excuse to say something. So basically, if the Torah, I'll say the Rashi outside and then you'll understand it. If the Torah would say, Rabbi Yossi Aglili says it's a person who's afraid that they're not going to do well in battle because they have a lot of sins and they're going to be killed. But if the Torah says whoever thinks they have a lot of sin should go back, then everybody will be embarrassed to go back because they'll think, oh, this guy's leaving because he's a sinner. He's been robbing banks in his spare time. So the Torah knows that the person will be too embarrassed to go back under those circumstances. So the Torah made these other excuses as a pretext, even though really those people shouldn't be released from the battle, but the Torah allows them to be released so the other person can now claim, oh, the people might think he's not necessarily leaving because he sinned, maybe he just built a new house or just planted a new vineyard or he got engaged. And so therefore, the pretext is like an excuse to cover up for something else. So that's what, now you follow what I'm saying, Tani? So that's what's going on here. So look at Rashi, read the Rashi errors. The Torah provides him with an excuse that he says, why am I going back? People might think he's going back, not because he's filled with sins, but because he built a new house or a vineyard or a wife. Go on. To cover up for those who are returning because they have a lot of sins in their hands. He wants to cover up that. Go on. Hey, grab a chumash. Oh, you have in your chita. Go on. We don't want everybody to realize that this guy is going back as a sinner, so they'll think, oh, he's going back only because he just got engaged or something. The one who sees him is going to say, Shema Banabayas, or Natakarim, or Rashi Shah. Maybe he built a house, or he planted a vineyard, or he married a woman. Okay, go on. Beautiful Rashi. It's a beautiful Rashi. Somebody who's afraid, we don't want him to stay there because he's worried. So this goes back to the earlier verse. Go on. He should go back lest he die. Yeah, you kicked me, Gabi, just so you know. Go on. Because if he doesn't listen to the words of the Kohen, if he doesn't listen to the words of the Kohen and goes back when he should have, so that it's appropriate for him to die because he messed up. Okay, you guys all in the same classes? Do you have any classes together? What? Well, Gavi graduated. Gavi graduated. He's basically on to Oraita. Is that my son's?
Yep.
How'd you get one?
I stole it from Shia's.
Probably. Okay.
Rabbi, going back to what you said yesterday.
What? I'm sorry, Rabbi Yosef?
Going back to what you said yesterday, that it's only in the Milchemet Rashut.
Yeah.
Milchemet Mitzvah, it sounds like there's a promise, basically, that even if you do have those sins, that nothing will happen to you because you're participating in Klal's mitzvah of defending the people of Israel.
It's a beautiful idea. Beautiful idea. I never thought about it. Very nice, Rabbi Yosef. That's stark. That's stark. Very good. Rabbi Yosef is based in Fredericton, Canada. If you guys ever want to go visit him, I'm sure he'll be very happy. Be machazik, Rabbi Yosef. We should do it when it comes time to plan your senior trip for Berman or to Fredericton. Yeah.
Keep that in mind. All 5 backs go on the trip with them.
Okay. So the next pasuk says, "Vaya," and we're calling you to read this Rashi, Gavi. Vaya kechavos hashotrim udaber. When the officers finish speaking, then they should appoint leaders at the heads of the people. And the Gemara tells us, and Rashi is going to say it, that they put people at the back of the army with metal bars, and if somebody tries to escape his service after he missed the window of the exemption, they would hit them on the knees with the metal bars. Because the beginning of failing, the beginning of defeat is, the Gemara says, what's the beginning of defeat?
Bad attitude.
What?
Giving up.
Or
Retreat. Retreat is defeat. Retreat is defeat.
what about guerrilla?
It could go either
Guerrilla
way.
warfare.
What'd you say,
It could
Arya?
go either way.
What's that?
You could retreat and succeed.
Well, the Gemara says, okay,
Yeah,
look
warfare.
at the Rashi, Agavi, read the Rashi, and we'll see what Rashi says.
Yeah.
Shema midin,
Draw your way out.
pasuk tet.
1061.
Charades.
Right spoke.
Charades follow.
Sarei tzvaot.
Shema Midim. I don't know, Rashi so.
No, that's it.
Zakafin
Right.
Milfnehan.
Right, they put these people, zokev kefufim, we say it every morning. What does that mean? To stand upright, those who are bent. So they put people whose job it is to keep the people upright. Shema midin zikifin. Keep the people upright in front of them. Go on.
Milfnehan.
Umil, and behind them.
Hashilim Shel Barzel Bidehem.
And they have iron axes in their hands. So they put people in the back with iron axe. The Torah doesn't mess around. The Torah doesn't mess around. You don't get it like a yellow card. They stick you in the back with an iron axe. Go on.
Chomi Sherotza Lichzor Harshut Biadel Lekapeof at
Shokab. Whoever tries to leave, this guy in the back with the iron axe has permission to knock him, chop off his legs. Go on. Zekifin b'nei Adam omdin. These zekifin are people who are standing b'ktsei maracha, at the edge of the battle. L'skof esanoflim, to raise upright those who fell down. U'chaskam b'dvarim, and to strengthen them by saying, this is what they would say, this is what I was saying to you. Shuvu al milchama, go back to the battle. V'lo tanusu, do not run away. Shetchilas nefila Nisia. The beginning of falling is flight. I said running is defeat, or retreat is defeat. So just remember that. If you run, you will lose. Stand tall and proud.
What about in a race?
This is the life message. You have to apply it to appropriate context, but that's the general approach of what the Torah is saying is that if you retreat, you will lose. We don't retreat. Jews don't retreat. We go forward. Go forward in life. We go forward. Okay, next pasuk. This is a very, very powerful idea, much debated. This is one of the most, what page are we on, Eitan? We'll tell Eitan what page we're on.
1061.
1061. Okay. Ki tikrav el ir lilachem oel v'karas oel shalom. When you come to a city to fight war against it, you shall call upon it for peace. Now, there's two ways to read this, that you shall say, and you call upon it for peace, or you shall. You're obligated to first offer peace. But there's a problem with this because I thought we're supposed to wipe out the 7 nations. We're supposed to kick them out. So how come here it's what? So let's see what Rashi says. Rashi says that's what Rambam says. Rambam says that they were all offered to run away or surrender. Rashi never cites that midrash. Rashi says, would you like to read the Rashi, Arya? Erez got it. Okay, Erez. Okay, he's such a beautiful volunteer.
Okay.
Yeah, ki tikrav el ir.
תקרא לעיר במלחמה הרשו הכתוב מדבר.
Okay, go ahead. במלחמת הרשות הכתוב מדבר.
מדבר כמו ש...
So wait. So what does that mean? The Torah is referring to a milchamet harashut. What is a milchamet harashut? What does it mean? It's an optional war.
Like
You don't need
it's like conquering land.
It's basically that was not commanded. It's not to defeat the 7 nations and conquer the land of Canaan, and it's not where the Jewish people were attacked, but it's where you want to expand your borders. So let's say if Israel decided, listen, you know what? We like what's going on in France. They got a lot of good food. We want to conquer France. That would be what's called an optional war. That's not a commandment from the Torah. So when do you have to offer peace? Rashi is saying that you offer peace only in the optional war, not in the obligatory war. As it's going to state, verse 15 below, thus you shall do to all the cities that are far away, because Rashi's approach is that in the cities that are close by, you're not allowed to offer peace. You have to wipe them all out. That's what Rashi's approach was, that you have to kill everyone. It was Rashi. There was a lot of other commentaries on it, but this was Rashi. Okay, go on.
כמו שמתפרע בעינן.
Moshe Mefurash Ben Yan, like it states explicitly, Kain Taseh,
כן תעשה לכל האריס
Kain Taseh L'Kol Ha'arim Ha'rechokot. Thus you shall do to all the cities that are far away. Okay, the next pasuk. Vaya im shalom tancha. Let's say they want to have peace with you. Ufastalach. And they open it up for you. If they want peace with you, they could do it, and yet they have to accept your terms, which is they have to pay taxes and they have to serve you. Basically, they're your tributes.
Don't Muslims do the same thing?
I don't like to talk about other faiths unless there's somebody from that faith in the room, because I really don't know anything. Like whenever I hear people talking about Judaism and they're not Jewish, they don't know the first thing about it. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
They don't know anything about Judaism, like literally nothing. If they know anything about Judaism, they'll say, all I know is that all Jews are rich. I've heard that so many times from people in DC. I'm talking about like in the hood in DC.
Sometimes that they know their stuff.
I mean, yeah, they haven't been hanging out they've been hanging out in Stonington too much. So near But so I don't know what Muslims do. You have to ask them. But this is what the Torah says, that if it's if they accept your peace treaty, then they can, then you have to let them be alive if they're far away, according to Rashi, and they accept to be your servants. Look at the Rashi, Erez, please. Afilu ata motzeba
אפילו אתה מוצא במשפט.
mishiva umot. Even if you find anyone there from the 7 nations, shenitztavita la'achrimam, you've been commanded to kill them. So the 7 nations, you're not allowed to kill, you're not allowed to let them be alive. But let's say there's a guy from the 7 nations who moved far away. Let's say there's a guy from the 7 nations of Canaan who moved to Japan, and now Israel's the Jewish people are attacking Japan. And so do you have to kill him? No, if he accepts that since he's living there, you can live. Fine. Go on, the next part. Go on.
עד שיקבלו עליהם מיסים ושעבוד.
V'shibud. Until they accept upon themselves misim v'shibud, taxes and tribulation. Shia, do me a favor. Can you tell the shamus who's upstairs that we need him? I'm sure he'll be very happy to hear you. From
I have
you
a
that we need
question.
him.
Rabbi,
Okay. What did you say, Rabbi Yosef?
I have a question. Why doesn't Rashi say that they also have to accept the 7 Noachide laws?
Because they're not a Ger Toshav. These are not people who are living amongst you. The Ger Toshav, we learned recently in the Gemara and Avodah Zarah, is somebody who wants to live in the land of Canaan, and that you could keep that person alive if he accepts upon himself different things. The Gemara is a dispute. One of them is that he accepts the 7 Noahide laws. These are people who don't live amongst you. They live far away. They live in Japan. And they want to and they want to be alive. That's okay. They just have to pay your taxes. They have
Wouldn't
high
it make
tax.
more sense if that was the main requirement? Because like, yes, you do live far away, but we are trying to make the world a better place, and so therefore,
You
one
know
of
what?
the conditions of the surrender.
You got to write your own Torah. This is what the Torah says.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to.
All right. Let's stop here and daven mincha now. Shikoyach. Okay, stay out, everybody.
Good night, Shmuel.
Good night. Good night.